Okay, folks, this is Book Talk with Corbin. I'm your host, and I'm really excited about doing this interview. This is a local author. I'm a big person on promoting local authors, connecting with local authors. I oftentimes say, look, we have a lot of giants and legends walking amongst us, and many times they don't receive the recognition and the respect and the love that they deserve. And this is definitely one of those brothers here, Meshorn Daniels. This brother's going to be talking about his book, I'm Not Your Black America. Not only is he bringing this out in print, digital, he also has an audio. So this brother's he's hitting all bases, okay? He's hitting all bases. He's trying to be the next Hank Aaron. He's going to be hitting these home runs. He's going to be doing it. And I really want people, please, pre-order a copy. You can go to unclemeshorn.com and get you a pre-copy. And it's very important you do that, particularly with these authors who may not already have a big name. But one thing that really helps them is pre-orders, and I want to strongly encourage everybody to get a pre-order here. And again, the title of his book, I'm Not Your Black America, a little bit influenced there by James Baldwin book. I'm sure many of you are familiar with that. I'm Not Your Negro. And Meshorn, he talks about during a pre-interview time, I guess you might say, he says, hey, yeah, I mentioned some James Baldwin in there, but he also mentioned the fact that he's probably not the most held up or beloved speaker or author in the city of Louisville, because he has some rather controversial opinions and thoughts. So let's get into it. I've wasted enough time yickety-yak and introducing the show. Brother, give me a little bit about your background, man. Where were you born?
Well, as always, let me first acknowledge and appreciate you bringing me on, okay? And I consider this very special to me because I know the difficulty of who I am and the fact that you reach out to me to bring me on. I want to acknowledge you. Thank you for bringing me on, Corbin. This is really special to me. So to answer your question, my friend, I am from Miami, Florida. I'm originally born in Miami, Florida. Retired military, joined the military in 1978, and stayed in the military for 21 plus years, and got out at Fort Knox, and then found my queen here in Louisville, Kentucky, and stayed here in this city. And being that my wife was my second wife, I decided to practice happy wife, happy life, and decided to live where she wanted to live, even though, we could afford I'm a digital technologist, trained in the military, and I did that in the civilian sector. And my financial resources, we could have lived anywhere that we wanted, but my wife, being from the West End, wanted to live where her family was close by. We got the opportunity to live there. And initially, I would be the first to say, not knowing anything about Louisville, Kentucky and everything, it was a culture shock, okay? Understanding, because I come from a conservative background. The military, you see, when you're in the military, I don't know any people to really understand. When you're in the military, you have no political affiliation. You are just solely to serve and protect the country. But in that process, in the military teaches you how to be an independent, how to be self-sufficient, and how to, think for yourself. Okay, you're not used to allowing someone to think for you. You think for yourself. Right. And at my level in the military, I reached the level of sergeant first class. Okay, so I'm a senior non-commissioned officer. So from that level of thinking and coming into the civilian sector, moving into the West End community in a dominant in a democratic dominant environment with government dependency and people victimization and all that stuff, it was a quite foreign to me. Okay, it was I felt like I was behind enemy lines and everything, and me having to go work in a dominant European environment as a surgical technologist in the operating room. So, I just want to set this up for you to understand. Me leaving my home in the west heart of the West End community, drive past 9th Street to go work in a dominant European environment where, I have to navigate and be a man. I mean, I'm not trying to be a black man. I'm just being a man. Okay.
Right.
Handling my business, getting paid quite well. Okay. And then when I get off, have to come back into a community where I'm hearing nothing but victimization, blame the Republican Party, all that stuff. And I did that for 25 years, brother. So that is my introduction to who I am.
Man, that was, brother, you said a mouthful, man. That's a book in itself. That's your second book's your autobiography, right? Tell me it is. Because, man, I bought it. You already got us customer. Man, that was powerful. And folks,
did I set the bar up?
Folks, I'm telling you something. As a Louisvillian, he said so much. It was so accurate. It was so dead on. I said, man, look, okay. All right, man. All right, let's get to the book, man. I ain't going to continue with you no more. We'll be here all day. Right. We'll be here all day. Oh, my God. And the one thing you said, I have to point this out. What was it you said? Happy wife, happy life. Is that the way you put it?
It's a happy wife, happy life.
Man, that is, dude, let me tell you something, bro. You know this better than me. If a lot of us, brother, took that attitude, we would have far fewer divorces in the black community. That is a very powerful statement you made right there.
Hey, brother, Corbin, Corbin, I'm glad to see that you went there first. I would not be the success of my 26 years of marriage had I not went into it with that attitude, okay? And I didn't get that attitude culturally from us. I got that attitude in hanging out with other cultural men that took, the successful man in your house, as a king in your house, is first pleasing your woman, okay? Making your wife feel happy about who you are and making her feel good about who she is and making her happy. He said, and when you accomplish that, he said that you can do anything you want to do.
Wow. He's right, man. That's powerful. That's powerful. Yeah. I mean, that's your third book right there. That's your third one right there. Shoot, man, you got...
Hey, cool. Yeah, you my publishers, bro. You already talking about trying to hook me up with some new books and everything, bro.
You better believe that, man. We need that. We need that message. Well, look here. Let me say this real quick. This is Book Talk with Corbin. I'm your host. Folks, go to my website, Book Talk with Corbin, spelled CORBIN.com. And I have a lot of great interviews there. I've got several interviews with New York Times bestselling authors, including David Horowitz and Star Parker, many other great folks. And now we're going to have my brother here, Meshorn Daniel. And we're going to have him up on there. And I want people to listen to this interview, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And please share it, because he said a lot. He said a lot. And if you're from Louisville, you know he said a lot. You know he said a lot. And what he said wasn't just some bull. It's important stuff that we really, as Louisvillians, need to chew over and talk and get out there. Now, brother, I notice here, in your background, you're quoting MLK. They will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Are you giving us some sort of indication of what you're putting or what's in your book?
Absolutely. First of all, the title of my book, Your Black America. So I am actually tying in what Dr. was actually referring to. He was referring to the idea that the character of who we are needs to be the most important thing not boxed to the color of our skin. And so my whole book is about that. My whole conversation is say to American, and matter of fact, let me ask you, as you interview me, by the title of my book, who do you think my immediate audience is? Who do you think my general audience of who I'm talking to first? I am not your Black American. So who you think I'm talking to first?
It's interesting you asked that. Initially, I would have said white folks, and then, because it was so similar to the James Baldwin thing, I was saying, well, he's saying something to us Black folks too. So, I was really sort of mixed on that, and that's one thing that intrigued me and saying, man, I've got to interview this brother. But I don't know. Go ahead. Keep on your point.
Well, Corbin, it's fair that you would feel that I'm speaking to the dominant European culture. You're going to notice that I specialize in disciplining myself to say specific things. My book is meant for the dominant European culture, as you call them, white folks. Okay, but not just any white folks. I'm talking about the elite, the ones who controlling things, the ones who put things in place. So when you read my book is written in a tone and an intellect that's specifically to that demographics of people. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, it does. You're sort of going in and out, but I think people are getting the bulk of it. So let me ask you this. When you say it is to the dominant European population, I guess you might say, but it's to the elites, the ones, as you put it, are sort of controlling things. Now, are you saying to them, hey, you guys are the enemy, you're the devil, or what? What do you just what's sort of like your general message, I guess, you're trying to get across to them?
Very good. Good question, Corby. Very good question. First of all, no, I'm not coming across as the angry Black man. Let's go ahead and make that very clear. No,
okay.
No, I'm not going that avenue. I'm a brother, an American, proud to be here, who's just turned 62 years old, who's have accomplished a lot being here as an American. Now, my book is saying that after I've reached 62 and I have traveled and seen so much, and I'm seeing Black Lives Matter, I'm seeing the political makeup of our country, I'm seeing the fight and everything. What I'm saying is that after reading Noah Shelton's book, America's Little Black Book, who actually was the star. I mean, have you heard of that book?
Yes.
America's Little Black Book by Noah Shelton?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it was in that book that awoke in me to the idea that, you know what? I'm not Black. Okay. I'm not Black. I am a descendant of American slaves. Okay. And it was in that book I realized when he specifically talked about that this country, we are the children of this country and the dominant European culture. Now, those are words that I'm saying that I put in there. The dominant European culture intentionally swayed us and directed us away from our birthrights, our birth inheritance, and our birthplace based on a color construct, the deceit away from what is right ours. Generation American slaves from 1619 to 1865. So no, I'm telling the dominant European culture, I done peeped your game. I done saw what you're doing. I'm not going for it anymore. I'm going to educate everyone who's younger than me. I'm going to let the cat out the bag and drop it out there like it needs to be dropped. I'm letting them know in your face, I am not your Black anymore, America. I am a man, a husband, a father, and an uncle who can tell you who I am. And I don't need you telling me to box me into a color. I'm going to tell you who I am. I'm going to tell you who I am. I am the American descendants of slaves, and I'm going to sit back and see how you like it.
Wow. Okay. Folks, let me comment here. But this brother here, I think one thing we have a lack of in the United States of America is a respect for profound intellectual thinkers like this brother right here. And you find many of these disregarded and disrespected intellectuals. Many times they are what I would call black men, like this brother right here. And they're like lately, I think the dominant culture, I guess you may want to say, and the dominant political culture within the black community, they don't want to hear from a brother like this. They want a brother like this marginalized, and not only marginalized, but not even recognized. Now he don't exist. He ain't there. He's like Casper the Ghost. He ain't really there. And so I'm not asking people to agree with him or disagree with him. I'm asking people to get his book and read it. That's what I'm asking people to do.
Amen.
And I'm asking people, to read it, not just skim over it, not just to, maybe look through the preface and the introduction and say, oh, that's interesting. Where are the pictures? No, read it. Because this stuff what this brother's putting up there is profound. And it's not a matter if you agree with it or disagree with it. It's a matter of we got to understand what this brother's saying and digest it. And hopefully talk about it with other folks who look like us. Particularly us black men. Brother, I've got to cut this interview short because like you and other great authors and intellectuals I have on this show, I've learned that if I can go on for 2-3 hours. I go on for 2-3 hours, and that's why I always say to folks, hey, you got to go read this brother's book. Now, it's at Uncle Meshorn, Meshorn.com. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
And what I may do is at some later point through Facebook see about how I can order several copies and give them out to people.
Hey, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let me give you props to get ready to go off. You are the example that I've been looking for. Men who are alpha, I'm telling you, you're an alpha man. You have proven you are an alpha man who's not afraid to have a conversation with me. See, the ones who have a problem when have a conversation with me, they have another agenda. You showed me what your agenda was when you was willing to reach out to me, and I give you props for that, bro. We need more of our men who's not afraid of a brother like me. Let me speak my truth. I'm not going to agree with me, but at least let me be heard. And I want to give you props, okay, for willing to have the courage to have a conversation with me and let me be heard. So, hey, man, I want to honor you, and anything I can do to elevate your program and bring you on things that I'm doing, I'm extending that out to you as well.
All right, brother. Appreciate that very much. Again, folks, let me say this. Uncle Meshorn, Uncle, Meshorn.com. Go there, put in a pre-order. Okay, go in there and put in a pre-order, and hopefully there at that website too, you can learn how to do how to get his audio book. Now I know a lot of folks out there, including myself. A lot of times it's hard for us to carve out time to just sit down and read. But those audio books, boom, you can
awesome.
Put it in the car, have it on the CD player at home, that kind of stuff, and you'll get through a lot. Brother, thank you again. We are going to be in touch. And man, I just want to thank you again.
Can I just make a shout?
Sure, go ahead.
I just want to make a shout out to Michael Spencer. Michael Spencer, a author, audio author. That's going to be the brother that's reading my book. And listen up, I'm going to tell you, I want to give that brother a lot of work. That brother, man, he makes the third one. I mean, the first two brothers, man, my book scared them, bro. They scared them. They said, nah, I can't do this. I can't do it. But my sister came on board. He said, I'm doing this. And not only said he's doing it, he felt honored to be doing it. Wow. So I want to give him props for coming in here and doing my book.
Michael Spencer. All right,
yes,
brother.
Sir.
All right, brother. We'll be in touch, okay?
All right. Thank you.